So, what's up guys? Welcome to the video. Thanks for clicking. I've been waiting for you this entire time. Left me here any longer, I would have been in some trouble. Anyway, now that you're here, I guess we can get in. Today we're going to be talking about the Smith & Wesson M&P M2.0 9mm Performance Center core. If you're still here after that, then thank you and I hope you enjoy it. It's got a big old name. So, here it is, Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0, and you heard me the first time. Today we're going to be talking about this bad boy, the different configurations that this thing comes in, why I picked this over anything else, what I paid for it, what you might expect to pay for it, what I like and don't like about it, and a little bit of my experience after shooting it just the other day. Stick around. We might also be talking about a few parts that I plan on replacing, a few parts that I might and might not replace, and we'll go from there. This gun is safe. Get into it. Here we are with the M&P M2.0 Performance Center in 9mm. Does come in 9 and 40. I went with the 9mm, a little bit cheaper ammo. This is going to be mostly a range gun, I believe. We'll see down the road. I do have defensive ammo for it, just in case I decide to make it a daily carry. I do have another firearm that I use for my everyday carry and concealment. But this is the Performance Center. This is what we are here to talk about today. So when you are looking at the new M2.0 Performance Centers that are available, you have a few options. Like I said, from the barrel length, not only that, but you can get it with or without the ported barrel and matching slide, with or without the suppressor height sights. And I believe they all come with the core setup here, which is awesome. And I absolutely thank them for it, and I don't plan on going back anytime soon. It also comes with the polished barrel, which I also love. It really does contrast well when you have these cuts in the slides. You can see in there. It looks good from the front. A few things that this comes with, which makes it unique. A few of the specs is they did change the slide stop on this thing. It is a little bit bigger, more pronounced, which I do appreciate. It's not too much, it's not enough to really bother you, but it's definitely helpful when you're working on it. And if you've had a 2.0 before, you know, and it's a common issue, you can't release the slide with just your thumb. Usually you have to use two or just pull the slide. It's not a huge deal. A lot of people do like to release the slide with this guy, so it was nice for them to do that. Aside from that, the stippling stayed the same, which is great, and I love this. This is one of the reasons that I fell in love with M&Ps in the first place. This grip is, the texture is incredible. It's a real aggressive texture, not overly aggressive. It's not going to cut you up, rough up your hands or your calluses. But it definitely makes holding onto this thing a lot more comfortable, especially in, you know, a sweatier condition, wet or what have you. But they hung on to that, and that's much appreciated. This thing comes in at 26.9 ounces, I believe, and they also upgraded the trigger on this thing, which is much appreciated. This is the Vortex Venom Red Dot. This does not come with this kit. This is something that I added on, and I'm grateful that I did. So let's go over what came in the box. It came with two 17-round magazines. I would have appreciated a third, but I understand I can't just, you know, be giving these things away. I ended up buying a third the day that I got it for when I'm at the range, so I'm not going to be reloading every 5 seconds, which can be super annoying. It comes with interchangeable back straps, which I definitely appreciate. There's the tool. I use the small back strap. I have small to medium hands, and I just tend to find this a lot more comfortable. It fits my hand well. I'm not a big fan of the large palm swell. I have three here. One is in my range bag. These also come with the beaver tail, if that's something that you're interested in. Because it is a core model, it comes with a bunch of different plates for different red dots and optics that you decide to throw on there. I think there's 7 options on here, which is pretty incredible. I mean, it definitely makes it a lot easier. You're not stuck with just like the RMR or something like that. You really can pick the one that fits you the best. Another thing that I really liked about this firearm is it comes with the Performance Center cleaning kit. It comes in a really, it seems like a pretty decent quality case. It's made well. It's like a harder soft case. This tool came with the red dot, so ignore that. But it comes with a nice cleaning rod, the extension, a pick, a brush, all the other goodies that you would expect out of a cleaning kit. And it's actually pretty well made. They didn't really skimp out here, and I really do appreciate that. Comes with a few cloths and a little cleaning instruction manual. And if this is your first gun, I mean, this is saving you money right off the bat. And if it's not, nice little cleaning kit for your range bag, so you always have something with you. So very nice touch. Thank you for that, Smith & Wesson. It also comes with a slide lock, something you'd expect, and it's neon green, because why not? So there's that. And I think that's all that came in the box. So let's take this thing apart and get a closer look. All right, so here's the trigger assembly. Everything looks good in there. Nice lightweight grip. Love that texture. Also has that accessory rail on there, which I super appreciate. Do have something on the way for that. Should be here in a few days. There will be another video for that. So here it is, normal wear and tear that you would expect from a day at the range. I did get in there and clean it. No, I'm not perfect, so it is not shining like it was when it came out of the box, but I think I did all right. Tolerances in here are actually pretty surprising. I do have another M&P, and they do not, okay, calm down. They do not seem this tight, and I appreciate this. I feel like if I'm going to be spending this much on an M&P, which we'll get to in just a minute, I want it to be or feel or look well made. Here are the ports for the barrel. One thing I did notice is after I took it shooting, maybe I just didn't see it before, it could have been there, I guess, but it looks like there's a scratch here. At first I thought it was just dirty, but you can feel it with your nail. I soaked it and it didn't come off. So we'll see. I'll keep an eye on that. Barrel, nice, clean, and pretty. I like that polished look on there. I think they knocked it out of the park. I really dig this slide too. It's nice and subtle. It's not overdone, but it still has like an aggressive look to it. They kept the little serrations here on the slide for press checks or just tacticalness, I guess, if I can say that. So let's get this bad boy back together. All right, there we go. Oh, let's try it out. Very nice. Yep. Good to go. So here it is. Here's with the magazine in it. It's got a nice size grip. Like I said, I'm a small to medium hand, so I don't need a very large grip. But this thing fits great in my hand. I still have room to reach up here. I got plenty of room for a light or something like that. But with my support hand, everything fits great. The grip feels amazing. The mag release, easy to access. They kept everything wherever it needs to be. And I'm just overall pretty pleased with this thing. I like the way it feels. I like the size. It's very manageable. And it is pretty fun to shoot. Here it is compared to the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield 45. This thing has been made safe. There's no magazine. So we'll see it side by side. Let's see. So you can see it's a little bit bigger. It's not a huge difference, but the width is where I notice it the most, which you would expect. They kept the same hinge trigger style, which I'm not a huge fan of. I know most people aren't, but they did upgrade the trigger slightly, and I'll show you this one. Let's take this out. Here's the take up. Quite a bit of travel, if you ask me. I was kind of surprised with that. I was expecting it to be a little bit shorter. It does have a little stopper here that you can adjust. So let's see, take up. Oh. Take up the wall. And the brake, I mean, it's a little bit clunky. I wouldn't say it's the cleanest brake I've felt, but it's definitely not terrible. It's not something that you can't live with. It's definitely better than some things I've shot. So there's that. Let's check the reset. Not bad. The reset is pretty surprising. It really is a pretty good trigger. I really did enjoy that when I took it out. So here it is, up close. Let's come back up, take another look, and let's talk about some things that I liked and didn't like, and some things I might be changing on here. And we are back up top with the M&P. So a few of my personal opinions with this thing. I like it. I'm glad that they came out with the Performance Center in the 2.0. I definitely think it has a place in the market, and I'm happy that I'm able to find one. So a few of the things that I really do like about this thing are obviously the core setup. Having the availability to slap a red dot on here, which I've never had before, was awesome. I'm glad they gave us the opportunity with this. I'm glad they gave us the opportunity to get it with a more custom look to it. I know this is more functional, which is awesome. So it's not just form, it's also function. The suppressor height sights, that is huge. If you're gonna provide a core system, every company that has something like this, optics mounts or MOS or whatever, needs to come with suppressor height sights, because then you're just spending more money to get the iron sights so you can co-witness, or if you have a failure, you have something to use. So I'm glad they included those. The ported barrel, I'm not 100% sold on. I'll tell you why here in just a minute. I am super excited that they decided to keep this grip texture. I appreciate it. It holds my hand just as much as I'm holding it, and it's comforting. It's comforting. We all need that sometimes. The accessory rail is nice. It's expected, but it's nice to have on there. I do have a light coming for it, like I mentioned. What else? The extended slide release, I do appreciate that. I do appreciate being able to do it with one finger. Like I said before, not necessary, but it is nice to have. And I mean, that's it. Smooth operation. This thing is just well put together, well built. The ported barrel is made, for those of you who don't know, to help with muzzle flip when you're firing. It forces the gas out of the barrel before the bullet exits and keeps the gun somewhat level, so you can find your target faster. You can get back on target even quicker, which is huge. I mean, if you're using it in a self-defense mode or even some light competition, you want to be able to find your target as quick as possible. It's not super drastic. It's not night and day. You're not going to feel no recoil on this because of that. But it is a nice touch, and it looks, I mean, come on, it looks cool. So much appreciated. What else do we have? Price point, this thing is competitively priced. They suggest the retail at $714, Smith & Wesson. I was able to find it here locally in my hometown at a gun store for $650. One of the reasons I jumped on it, because I mean, if you buy an MP 2.0 and you try to make it anything near this, it's going to cost you well over $650 just with the stippling. You know, well, they come with the stippling, with the barrel, the slide work, milling the slide for a sight, and your iron sights. I mean, that's ridiculous. So at $650, you're saving a bunch of money with this, if this is what you're into. If you're not interested in any of this stuff, if you don't want to put a red dot on it, save your money, get yourself a regular M&P 2.0. Some other models like the MOS, like I said, you're still saving money from Glocks, and you get a little bit more. You get a little more bells and whistles, and I really do feel like this thing is well made. It's shot really well. My biggest complaint with it while shooting was the ported barrel. Some people say they experience this. Some people say they don't. I did. So when I was shooting this, the first couple hundred rounds I put through it, you almost feel a concussion, like the pressure of the gas is coming back in your face and your like sinuses. And by the time I was done, I was I hate to say exhausted, but I was ready to take a break. So I'll put a couple hundred more rounds through it before I make a final decision on whether or not I'm going to keep that barrel. But for now, it's doing just fine. The trigger, I really do enjoy it. It does have a lot of travel in here, but it is a good trigger. It is definitely also an improvement. I'm looking at the Apex flat-faced trigger on there, trigger enhancement kit. I think it goes for about $160. I'm a little bit of an Apex super fan, so we'll try that out and see what we think on this, and I'll definitely let you guys know. I have my light on the way. I'll be showing you guys that, and I think that is it. Check them out. Go to your local gun store, feel one if you can find them. Put it in your hand, ask questions about it. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with this thing. The shooting experience was a lot of fun. And like I said, it comes in a few different configurations, so you're not stuck with it just the way that I have it. There it is. Thanks for watching. If you guys like this video, please click like. Consider subscribing. There's going to be a lot more content like this coming around. If you didn't like it, make sure you hit that dislike button. Hit it twice just for good measure, if you know what I'm talking about. And then we have a few other things coming up here in the future. I'm going to be making another video about this. This is my Ruger 5.56 NATO 10.5-inch AR pistol. There's a lot of little goodies on this thing you might be able to see. I'm going to go into a little more detail on this in that video, so you guys can look forward to that.